I would like to invite you to travel back in time with me to the year 2000. I was about 3, 4 years old, exploring the world in my kindergarten, and suddenly something strange happened. I saw another mom saying goodbye to her child, and I think I must have felt some kind of jealousy because my mind started to produce thoughts that were pretty mean about her. And I felt like time stopped and like I was cut off from the world. Why am I thinking that? I'm not allowed to think that. Never again. And so I have to fight what's going on in my mind. I think we've all heard about the pink elephant here. When fighting my thoughts, I just ingrained them, so much so I can even remember to the day what I was thinking more than 20 years ago. I was maybe 3, 4 years old, so when I went home, I told my mom about these mean words in my mind, and I felt full of guilt and shame. My mom at that moment, she told me that it's alright and that it's normal, but I didn't really believe her. When your mom tells you that you're normal, it's a bit like she tells you that you're good looking, right? It comes from a place of love and care, but it also can come off as a bit biased. Well, I would like to hear an explanation by an institution or an expert, someone neutral, someone who can tell me about how the mind sometimes works beyond our control automatically. But what happened instead is that I just went to school and I didn't really get the answers for my questions. I learned about geography, biology, physics, all the separated fields isolated from each other and definitely isolated from my life. So when I finished school, I had this strange feeling of, I understand life, and I was a bit disappointed. Like, is that it? I will just die one day having these crazy thoughts in my mind? That's a bit weird. So, as you can see, the knowledge at this time was already out there. I mean, we have amazing concepts like values, selfless context, cognitive diffusion, but they didn't really reach me. And maybe at this time, it would have been a bit hard to understand. Well, what I would have understand is a model that takes the core competencies, the core processes of the human mind and explains them in a way that is a bit easier to understand, such as the DNAV model by Louis Hayes. A model that presents us the following: that we do have an inner advisor. The advisor is your constant companion since the age of 2, since you can talk, and it is responsible for these automatic language-based thoughts. It can create this chaos. It can be very overwhelming sometimes. But we also have a noticer, mindful skills, becoming aware of subtle details and changes in the environment, but also inside of us, including automatic thoughts. We can be mindful about it. We can become aware with a noticer. And we also have a discoverer, our ability to learn and to grow and to discover new territory, but also to learn from missteps along the way and also from unpleasant experiences such as these automatic thoughts. And if we speak about ACT, of course, there's an inner valuer who helps me to decide what is important for me in life and to guide my actions accordingly. So I think it's amazing that we know all of this. Like, the ACBS community has done amazing work for many, many decades. And what we need to focus on now is to get this knowledge into schools to young people. And that's what we're aiming for at the Open Evo project in Germany, which is like a learning hub, including interdisciplinary perspectives for evolutionary and sustainability education, including our beloved behavioral science. So what we're doing right now is we're creating a guide for students and teachers that includes all these core processes of the human mind and that is supposed to support young people with the complex challenges in the 21st century. So these core competencies that you've seen before, the DNAV core competencies, are presented in a very playful way, enriched with current scientific theories, poetry, art, and also activities to experience it yourself. And I can say that this guide would have helped me tremendously when I was growing up, to see that I can be more than my automatic language-based thoughts, to get a sense of what it means to be human and to decide what's important for me in life. And if you scan the QR code, you get a free copy of the guide that we created. Thank you very much.